competition. It's race by leg one for the Sidecars, the chance to see action, Russell Smith, Nevill, John Halsey, Penfold and Russell the favourite match for the start. So the Russell goes now, goes there now, he's going to be doing it now. Connecting on that back straight, we've got away with that. Disappointed with John Halsey though, he's now going to join the race circuit again. But as we look around the middle, it is the Australian Sidecar that are getting away from the race 5 in the programme, win 4, number 6, Russell and Urycz. In second place, outfit number 1, Piggott. In third place, outfit number 17, that's Stace. Fourth place, number 2, Nevill Penfold for Randall, and fifth place there for John Halsey and Tony Miles. The winning time, 1:39.70, 1:39.70, 6-1, 17, 2 and 13. So that's the first of the sidecar races. I'm sure a lot of people would have expected Russell to go well today. He started well with a win that first time out. Now I'm sure there'll be all sorts of talk going on in the pits to decide whether they have got the right gearing, got the right tyres or whatever. Could be rushing over the race, I would imagine that. Race 6. Edwards. Marley Baker, new passenger this afternoon, the very experienced Team Bassett. Number 8 is Gary Boone. We know we go well on this sort of circuit, so we want to see what sort of fortune we can have this afternoon. Number 92, Richard Piggott and Martin Boone. Nothing too much in them this season, but I'm sure it's going to go well. Going very well. Blewitt. So these are the two very quickly in line in fourth place. Third place, outfit number 8, and they had to work for that position, Moon and Glenie. Fourth place, outfit number 12, Bennett, and fifth place, number 3, John. Winning time, 1:37.64, 1:37.64 the time, 7, 92, 8, 12, and 3. A tremendous start to the sidecar competition. Rustling and Ted Lane getting wins first time out. We watch to see what happens in race 7. First chance to see Mick and Stace in action. Jerry Adams and Shaun Pittock. Rob Wilson and Vince Jones. Steve Dewison and Dave Ward. Gary Jackson, Kevin Williams, and Alex Matthews and Mike Dowse. Well, there's not going to be any easy races whatsoever this afternoon in both competitions. Every single race that we see in the program a very, very strong field. Rob Wilson and Vince Jones, I remind you, are riding Roger Meese's Yamaha powered outfit. And change of engine this week, they rode it down the A-Space in Halsey. Considering that that outfit looked to have gone a little bit sick for the winners of race 7, outfit number 24, Rob Wilson and Vince Jones. In second place, outfit number 15, Ivor Matthews and Mike Dowse. Third place, number 4, Steve Dewison and Dave Ward. Fourth place, number 23, Gary Jackson and Kevin Williams. Fifth place, number 55, Jerry Adams and Shaun Pittock. And sixth place, number 5, Mick and Mick Stace. 1:38.43 the time, 1:38.43. 24, 15, 4, 23, 55 and 5. Steve Dewison, also third place, first time out. Steve Smith, Williams second, first time out. Harold and John Blewitt, you remember, started off brilliantly well, then slipped back down through the field and finished in fifth. Mick and John Halsey, both in disappointing first ride, so they'll be looking to make up points in this second ride. No heat winners from that first leg go in race 12, so one of these outfits is going to get a win. I wonder, will Steve Smith improve on that second place? Gary Moon, he's even playing around with tyres, all pressured, and gearing. Watch to see what happens as they prepare themselves for race 12. Puts attention on that start. You can see somebody's not quite happy. Looks as if it's Ivor and John Blewitt that have got machinery problems. They get underneath. Those of you down here will start will see that a lot better than I did. Ivor Blewitt brought it to a grinding halt. John had realised he was going to stop and he went right over the top of the grab rail. Now, almost all the pair of boots going up in the air. He looks weird. So he's back on the outfit. The outfit is running again. Wait for those two to get back in line. We should be now what I see. Take things very casually. Step off the outfit. Steve Smith finds back over the outfit. Our bird comes to the line, so we should be underway any moment now. There we go. This is start right where it's gone. We get to do it together at the start. Now it's on the drop of that first one on the ball position. So Gary Moon's starting to get things sorted. As he moves up in the second place, he goes out to Ivor and John Blewitt. Oh, they've gone with a little right to get up on again, and Gary Moon Pittock is still on there in third place, and Steve Smith disappointingly moving back down the field. John Halsey put himself up into fourth place. Mick is starting to get closer to Ivor and John Blewitt as they put their hands in the air and go up on that bottom end of the circuit. So probably Ivor and John once again. Mick Taylor, back up in the second. Tremendous riding over on Gary Moon. Race 12 and a tremendous finish there. A win for outfit number 8. That's Gary Moon and Glenie. In second place, number 5, Mick and Stace. Third place, yes it was close, but it goes to outfit number 13 with John Halsey and Tony Miles. Fourth place, number 1, Steve Smith and Keith Wall. Fifth place, number 4, Steve Dewison, and the winning time 139.35. 139.35 time, 8, 5, 13, 1 and 4. Russell still there in second, now under pressure from number 92, Richard Piggott and Martin Bailey. Third place, outfit number 6, Russell and Paul Urycz. Fourth place, number 23, Gary Jackson and Kevin Williams. Fifth place, number 11, Moon and Pinfold and Peter Jones. No sixth place, the winning time 134.90. 134.90, 7, 92, 6, 23 and 11. In the third place first time, Ivor Matthews had a second. Tim Bennett and Nevill Penfold, both with fourth places. Martin Baker hoping to get on the scoreline this time. No problems first time out, although that was running too serious. You see that he is on the line looking to go. The line is now in short to the coach. Let's go up and away we go. Race 14 with Ivor Matthews is very good to start with the jump on the front. Nevill Penfold, inside the get to the front. At the front of the field. Ivor Matthews and Mike Dowse, both to the third, second place in the company of the run for the third year, up into the third. Under pressure from Rob Wilson and Mick. This is a new frame for Nevill Penfold. So it's brave of them to actually just go out with a new frame. They swap their engine over and put it into this new frame. Rapidly down that back straight. He put his arm in the air, it looks as if he's trying to get him over the going. Keep it on top, they see it going outside of it, he's got one more to the side and outside of it. So, he's got one more to the second. Last week. As we see the checkered flag go, Nevill Penfold to be first in the afternoon. Randall to get the second place. Stace here in third, Tim Bennett in fourth. Mark Bailey comes through for fifth, very disappointing to there and see Ivor Matthews cross the line. Well, thanks Tony, indeed I'm hearing nothing but bad news from the bits at the moment. We've got two outfits that we know of that have got blown engines. I suspect we've got serious problems for Pittock. We've had to come out on Gary Moon's dead fine, but we've heard that Alan and John Blewitt have blown their engine, so no further parts will be taken in this meeting. Also, Jerry Adams has got very serious problems with his engine. But we look to the rest of the field because as for race 19, we've got all that going. What an interesting one this looks to be. Nevill Penfold, he's got a fourth place and then that win, second time out. Rob Wilson, a win and a second place. Gary Moon, a third place and then a win. So, three outfits come on the line together that have all had a win here this afternoon in those first two legs. Joining them on the line, John Halsey, Dewison and Martin Baker. So a tremendous line-up for race 19. You can see we're missing one or two outfits at the moment. Once you do that, it's what we're waiting for on the start line. Nevill Penfold right in some of these there already. Rob Wilson on route 4. Just on the outside of the field, so it's back Baker as we're waiting for. Certainly both competitions turning out to be very interesting this afternoon. I mean, we both said a lot, Tony, that we're expecting to see good things here for the first international BONFIRE BURNUP. There is so many of these competitors who would love to take this trophy. See that we haven't got Martin Baker going in this one, so I do know that's not another casualty. He had clutch problems down the A-Spaces last week. Done very well. He said he was so worried about the way the clutch had broken up, he had to strip the whole engine out to make sure that there was no other damage to be done. It looks as if we've pulled in one of the reserves to take his place. Now, like I see that Andy Nourish and John Mitton have come to the line in their place. So they've now got that reserve up and running. So no Martin Baker, but in their place, number 46, Andy Nourish and John Mitton. Well, there's an outfit that I'm sure will be keen to do well here at this Tunbridge circuit. Very disappointed, and they were spectators here at Qualifier earlier this year. They were disappointed they weren't in that line for Qualifier. We're going to roll over race 19. They're going to go and make a good start on the inside of the start gate. He's moving the car on the ground. Once again, Nevill, Penfold and Randall going well behind the field. Everyone running behind now. Know that they'll be very keen to beat this race up. Overtime from Gary Moon. Gary Moon right the outside line, they're picked in and looks good. Here's the advantage, he goes to him. Looks at it up one Gary Moon is third. Tremendous sidecar action and a great result for the followers of Penfold. Race 19, a tremendous sidecar race it turned out to be. A win and a very good win for Nevill, Penfold and for Randall, outfit number 2. In second place, number 24, Rob Wilson and Vince Jones. And I'm sure a lot of you spotted that he wasn't on Roger Reese's outfit. He was gone back to using his big twist power. Oh, I got that. I was too anxious watching what was going on. In third place, outfit number 8, Gary Moon and Dewison Glenie. Fourth place, outfit number 4, Steve Dewison and Dave Ward. Fifth place, our reserve that came in, number 46, Andy Nourish and John Mitton. And sixth place, number 13, John Halsey and John Miles. 138.86, time 138.86, 2:24.84, 46 and 30. Well, again, they've taken the opportunity to quickly roll that top end, so obviously the marshals on that top corner very concerned about the condition of that top end. I'm sure that all the spectators on that top end have seen that he's sticking out a little bit. They were concerned about that after practice. So very sensibly, the marshals on that top corner taking every opportunity to whistle all around that top end. Well, the change to race 20, I'm not sure whether we will get another reserve down. Mick and Adam Calvin. They come in place of Aaron and John Blewitt, and they come to the line on Bridge 4. It looks as if there's problems for Steve Smith at the moment. He's in front of the start line, and it's not running at the moment. Chance once again to see Rustling in action. He's had a first place and a third place, and remember some very, very quick races. Richard Piggott goes in this one. He's had 2 second places and we'll be anxious to improve on that. We've got other outfits out there that have had second places. Mick, he had a second time out. Steve Smith had a second first time out. So some very confident outfits and riders anxious to score good points in race 20. Steve Smith has got problems at the moment, well it does look as if they've got the outfit going. We wait for Steve Smith to come to the line. He's got to go right to the far outside, nearest the boards. Rustling on grid 2 on the inside. Let's go up to what you see the road. Rustling, maybe a good start, but another out to the top with him. Mick playing this one through. Mick has made a brilliant start, going down to the front of the field. As they come round that bottom bend, they now got pressure from Richard Piggott and Martin Bailey. 10 minutes back in third place after that, they're leading the rustling second place is already anxious to get a win this time. We've got Steve Smith in front of him. He's fighting him into the way. Looks as if Steve Smith is at long last got his drop out with running through the field now. Looks to be flying this afternoon. Takes second. Pittock hangs on to that third place and rustling, finishing in fourth. Didn't that turn out to be a good challenge from Richard Piggott? I'm sure it was the experience of Steve Smith that stopped him getting through. A win for outfit number 1, that's Steve Smith and Penfold. In second place, number 92, Richard Piggott and Martin Bailey. In third place, number 12, Tim Bennett, and a great result for him in third. In fourth place, outfit number 6, Rustling for Urycz. Fifth place, number 5, Mick Stace. Sixth place, number 99, Pittock and a Dowse. The winning time, 138.47, 1, 92, 12, 6, 5, 99, 138.47.
Well, we now move to the final leg for the sidecars. We should soon be in a position to sort out the various runners in the A and B final.
Looking through the points, and I think it's going to be a very, very interesting international burnout final in the solo competition. I'm sure you'll be sitting there working the points out in very few moments because I think that's going to be an interesting lineup. There's a lot of riders not performed as well as we would have expected this afternoon, but if you turn our attention to the sidecar racing, it's race 26 that we've got underway already. The very last thing for the first time. Right now, being so far this afternoon, goes straight to the front of the field once again. Steve Smith 6 on the 15 points, they're running in position on 45. Roberta on 15 points coming into this last ride. The first of these last of the Sidecar qualifying rides and another win. He's fourth of the afternoon for Ken Lane and Mark Edwards. His outfit number 7 goes in first place. Second place outfit number 92 is Richard Piggott and Martin Bailey. They're fourth, second place of the afternoon. In third place outfit number 1 Steve Smith and Keith Ward. Fourth place number 24 Rob Wilson, Vince Jones. In fifth place number 5 Mick and Mick Stace. Sixth place number 17 Dave Steer. The winning time 1:35.85. 7, 92, 1, 24, 5 and 17. 1:35.85. Ken Lane and ensure the place in that final. Yet another 7.4 first place. Over on to the maximum 20 points. Sure the place in that final. Again, the officials on the track decided to switch the roll on the top corner. Also working as possibly can. That'll be different handle for raffle prizes. So those of you that did purchase raffle tickets, the raffle prizes have been given to me. If I quickly give them out, then you can collect them during the interval, so you don't have to miss any of the racing. The winning tickets are a blue 373, a blue 501, I think we call that a beige colour, or brown, 87, the same colour, that's brown beige, 583 and 579. So the winning tickets on the raffles, 2 blue ones, 373, 501, the brown one, 87, 583 and 579. They can be collected in the interval from right here. We'll be sending the racing to 20 times in the interval as we get underway. Right down as we look for that first corner, it's going to the front of the front. Down to the best of that first bend. As they come round that one corner, I'm Matthews and Mike Dowse leading from Gary Moon in second place at the moment. Russell in for Urycz, orange third place, but still actively looking down on that engine. Gary Bassett. By Gary Moon and for Pinfold. Well, Pinfold has only borrowed Gary Moon's spare out there. I know that Gary Moon built this out in the order to go to Martin. Not giving up his work, but it's Gary Moon on that one again. The gap is getting very, very close. In the interest of safety there, those athletes were flying as they came past us, and they're all now close to a halt, and our first aid officials are extended sport, Matthews and Mike Dowse. Remind you quickly of those raffle prizes. I think you're going to rather rapidly. The winners of the raffle this afternoon are blue ticket 373, serial number K58ZQL91. On the same blue ticket reel, number 501. On the brown tickets, 87, 583 and 579. Martin Baker and right on the outside, Pittock. The roller being allowed to move off the track on the top of the circuit. Wait for all the red flags to disappear. The start will then be happy. The outfits all in line. Watching to see if the roll doesn't completely move off the racing line. As we get underway with race 28, the last of the 45 miles, very fine like that. Martin Baker is ready to get started. There are plenty of the on the inside. Steve Jones on the roll with John Halsey in the front of the front. The middle of Steve Jones and Andy Nourish. Gets himself up in the third. Now goes through in the second. As we go to go wide, there we go. Oh, brilliant that from they missed the start completely. They've tried this one easier to. They've moved their way through the field. They've got their line now. Actually, in the second place. Steve Jones. Good through in the third place in front of the third. We're sitting on 17 points coming into this last ride, but I knew that we moved to the middle in front of the field. We'll keep on approaching the final. For nothing better. Looks comfortable in that third place as Penfold hasn't gained any ground on him, but Nevill Penfold takes it out of the second place. Already fourth, and he knows he's in fifth place. So tremendous afternoon so far for Nevill Penfold all Randall. That ensures a place for them in the final. So as I give you the last of the qualifying line results in race 28, a win for Elfin, number 2, Nevill Penfold, number Randall. In second place, number 13, good result for John Halsey and Tony Miles. In third place, Alfin, number 4, Steve Dewison and Dave Ward. In fourth place, number 99, the first line reserve, Penfold and Adam Calvert-Smith. In fifth place, number 46, Andy Nourish and Mike Ravel. And in sixth place, number 9, Martin Baker and Steve Bassett. The winning time, 140.59, 140.59, 2, 13, 4, 99, 46, 9, number 8, 24, 92, and 1. So it's 7, Ken Lane, 2, Nevill Penfold, 8, Gary Moon, 24, Rob Wilson, 92, Richard Piggott, number 1, Steve Smith. That of course is the last race of the day, race 32. We're at the moment with race 30 though, the consolation final for the Sidecars. 6 laps of the Tunbridge circuit, and it's Tim Bennett that gets to the front as we go into that first bend. Problem for Mick as he goes off the circuit, and indeed on that first bend, done so brilliantly well to get to the front of the field, and I think it's going to take a lot to catch Gary Jackson and Kevin Williams. They really have looked to be in very, very good form this year. In the British Masters. make it worthwhile. Been disappointed that he's not in that A final, but it certainly has been very tough to qualify for that big final. Steve Dewison and Dave Ward is comfortably now in second place in front of Tim Bennett. John Halsey trying to close the gap. Jackson and Kevin Williams looking to make this race completely theirs. Steve Dewison not being able to pull them in at all. Tim Bennett losing ground all the time on Steve Dewison. The gap really has started to get the crew of Gary Jackson will be very disappointed that he's not out in that A final. He really is a very, very quick driver. Steve Dewison and Dave Ward, mixed feelings about their season this year. They've not really come to the form that we expect from them. Determined to get himself into the results. He's only right up to Tim Bennett. Tim Bennett will be coming around the outside, then comes through on the inside, but Gary Jackson takes the V-final. Steve Dewison and Dave Ward finish in second, and it is John Halsey, third in the Ace of Aces last week. He's now come through, my apologies, second of course last week. He's now finished third in the BONFIRE BURNUP Consolation Final. Let's give you the official result for race 30. A win for outfit number 23, that's Gary Jackson and Kevin Williams. In second place, number 4, Steve Dewison and Dave Ward. In third place, number 13, John Halsey and Tony Miles. Fourth place, number 12, Tim Bennett. Fifth place, number 5. And in the winning time, which we can compare to that big international burn-up final at the end of the day, 2:24.35. So remember that's the time for the 6 laps. 2:24.35. 23, 4, 13, 12 and 5. Well, thanks Tony, a tremendous international final and a great winner. I'm sure there's a lot of people out there as pleased as I am that Stevie Schofield has won the first international. We now of course move over to race 32 in your programme. It is of course the first international sidecar final for the burn-up meeting, and what a lineup. They of course pick grid positions from the highest point scorer, then down through whoever scored the next highest points. The lineup consists of our top point scorer, number 7, Ken Lane and Mark Edwards, our British Masters champions. Number 2, second to them in the point scoring, Nevill Penfold and Paul Randall. Third to them, are getting third choice on the line, number 8, Gary Moon and Jason Glenie. Fourth in the point scoring, they get next choice on the line, number 24, Rob Wilson and Vince Jones. Then joining them on the line is number 92, Richard Piggott and Martin Bailey. And lastly, but by no means least, making this lineup a tremendous burn-up final, number 1, Steve Smith and Keith Wall. Now, if we look back through the history of the burn-up, we can see that Steve Smith features in it in 1989 and 90. He would love to make this his third one. Done very few grass tracks this year, been developing the engine and the frame of that Wasp outfit. He would love to show that all that work has been worthwhile. Ken Lane and Mark Edwards, of course, our Masters champions. Nevill Penfold, I'm sure, is the local hero, so we've got a great final in prospect as they get underway, as they come past us for the first time. There's all sorts of problems for Nevill Penfold, as we see Paul Randall. Developing on the far side is Ken Lane and Mark Edwards that have got away from the field. Steve Smith and Keith Wall in second, but Richard Piggott trying to fight his way through on the inside. Gary Moon is back in fourth place at the moment. And of course it is 6 laps. Gary Moon, we know, gets faster as the race goes on. we get so used to seeing with these sidecar races, the speed they're travelling, then just one small little problem goes wrong and it's all sorts of problems with the speed that they're travelling. The clerk of the course having no hesitation. All as the ambulance disappears off the circuit. Both Richard Piggott and Martin Bailey deciding they're going to watch this final from the inside of the circuit. You can see they've been joined by Alan and John Blewitt out there as well. But I'm sure there was some very quick work done on Nevill Penfold's outfit. I'm sure I wasn't the only one that noticed, although he had all those problems with Paul falling off the back of the bike on that first starting straight, it was popping and banging like it really shouldn't. So I'm sure there was some very rapid work done while we had those few minutes break before the rerun. Ken Lane and Mark Edwards will of course be hoping that they can make an equally good start. I'll again remind you that Nevill Penfold has got that inside gate. Ken Lane has decided to take what is effectively grid 2. Rob Wilson just a little bit further out. I think he's slotted in between grid 3 and 4. Steve Smith, grid 5. And right on the outside, Gary Moon and Jason Glenie. Look, that's how they line up, and as we get underway for the second time in the BURNUP final, it's Ken Lane once again that's made a very good start. Steve Smith has gone with it this time, and a much better start for Gary Moon this time. He's right on the outside of Steve Smith going around the outside. Oh, we're looking perhaps for Nevill Penfold have a better ride this time. Rob Wilson is holding fourth, Nevill Penfold in fifth, but as we look to the front, it is our Masters champions, Ken Lane and Mark Edwards that lead from Steve Smith and Keith Ward in second. Gary Moon still there. He has been in great form this year. He's opening the gaps up already. Around that bottom bend for the second time. And as we see them come by us, that's quite some gap that he's got on second place, Steve Smith. Gary Moon again desperately trying to get the tear off the front of his visor. He's obviously picking up all the dirt from Steve Smith. Around that bottom bend, I'm sure, are on Ken Lane and Mark Edwards. Going brilliantly well at the moment as they come past us. That outfit absolutely flying. Steve Smith and Keith Wall, no answers to Ken Lane at the moment. He's had so many tunnels this year. He picked up the Whopper only a few weeks ago. Had a disappointment at the Aces with the engine not starting for him as he came to the line for the final. Oh, Gary Moon as he back lost ground on Steve Smith. So Steve Smith closing on Ken Lane as they start to go into the last lap. Oh, Keith Wall trying to urge Steve Smith on as they come together going into that top end. Both those two outfits locked together as Ken Lane manages to hang on to the lead. Steve Smith has pushed him up again and got him fired up as he comes round that bottom bend, well and truly controlled, comes to the line. You'll see the checker flag this time. A brilliant win from Ken Lane and Mark Edwards. Tremendous hard luck to Steve Smith and Keith Ward. A brilliant race. How on earth did they close that gap up? But Ken Lane done well enough to hang on to it. Gary Moon picks up third place. A tremendous sidecar final. It looked as if it was all over. And from somewhere, Steve Smith gained an extra ounce of power, closed the gap rapidly, and then Ken Lane had to work for it. In a very few moments as they come by us. A great season for Ken Lane and Mark Edwards. They wanted to finish it with a win in one of the big finals. I mean, of course, the Ace of Aces or the BONFIRE BURNUP. Both of them now internationals. And indeed, the first international won by Ken Lane and Mark Edwards. Steve Smith and Keith Wall, a great afternoon's racing from them. A brilliant ride to finish in second place to Ken Lane. And if I look back through the results from 1984, this is the first that Ken Lane has won at the Tunbridge Circuit. He won the Battle of Britain, I remember, some 3 years ago, so he has won here at the circuit. But this is the first burn-up that he's won. He now goes into the record books, along with Steve Smith, Roger Measer, and Steve Dewison. Very few that have won the Bonfire burn. The official result then of race 32, a win for outfit number 7, Ken Lane and Mark Edwards. In second place, number 1, Steve Smith and Keith Wall. Third place, number 8, Gary Moon and Jason Glenie. Fourth place, number 24, Rob Wilson and Vince Jones. And fifth place, number 2, Nevill Penfold and Paul Randall. The winning time, 2:24.58, 2:24.58, 7, 1, 8, 24 and 2.
Well, thanks Tony, indeed. It doesn't look much like a Dutchman to me, but we won't go into that. We move on to the sidecars, of course, and I've been keeping you up to date with all the sidecars, and I was expecting perhaps to see these people in the A final. It was such a hard final to get into, as Roger has already said. There's been some tremendous hard riding this afternoon. Winning the consolation final takes a lot of doing as well. They did it in great form. It was, of course, Kerry Jackson and Kevin Williams. Well, I ought to remind you, of course, they did have a tremendous season this year, finishing third in the Masters, and of course, as I say, not really something that we should talk about too often, the consolation final winners, but really that was a very, very hard final to win. Well, it looks as if we're going to stay with the sidecars team. We've got Roger being very active up here at the moment, and we're going to have a lot of garlands to give out, a lot of awards. And as always with the sidecar competitions, or indeed with any competition, we'll start, of course, with third place. And getting third place in the first international bonfire burn-up, a very hard feat to achieve. And this year, finishing in third, it's Australians Gary Moon and Jason Benny. We'll let them get the photographs taken first before I dive in and have a quick word with these boys, because there's an awful lot of news around this guy at the moment. Oh, one of... You make out that he's not used to having photographs taken, wouldn't he? But there we are. I've got to have a quick word with you, Gary, because I know that you're off to Australia very shortly, I understand.
Yeah, we go back on Wednesday, so we'll be feeling our breezes in the sun.
No, don't go on about the sunshine, Gary. We want to know what you thought of British grass track racing.
Oh, it's really hard and tough out there, but we're giving it our best, and hopefully next year we've got a better bike now, better equipment, so maybe next year.
Well, that's answered a lot of questions. I think that means you're definitely coming back to us next year.
Yeah, we're definitely coming back, thanks to real-time consultants who sponsor me and fly me over and keep me going and keep the bikes going, which costs a lot of money, as you could all imagine, so thanks real-time consultants.
Well, indeed, that goes without saying that we all thank the fact that you've been over here riding in British grass track. I think that it's actually educated some of our drivers as well. And I've got to quickly ask you, I apologise if I'm taking a bit long on this one, but it is important. Some of our English boys are coming over to Australia to give you some competition, aren't they?
Yeah, they're coming over, so we'll get them on our home turf, and maybe they might learn a little bit more.
Well, we certainly hope so. But Jason, I will have a quick word with you, because you stepped into the breach, it seems only a little while ago. It was something like this, probably your fourth ride.
Yeah, I mean, me and Gary, we've only been going for about a month now. He's been like completely different outfits to ride with, but we're getting together now. But it's hard work, but we're going to get there. We've got a full season next year to go through, so we'll have a better year next year.
Well, let's hope so, Jason. As you move over to the far side, of course, it means that we do move on to second place. Third place finishes there, of course, Gary Moon and Jason Glenie. But as we move on to second place, now this was a name I wasn't really expecting to see in the winners' rostrum this afternoon. I can say that politely. I'm going to see them playing football in a few weeks' time as well. They've put a lot into the sport. They've been developing engines and frame this year. It's nice to see that that has all paid off, because finishing second in the International BURNUP Sidecar competition, it was Steve Smith and Keith Wall. Well, trust Keith to put the garland on wrong. We can always rely on him to do something like that. But Keith, I've got to say that not once, and I'm sure I lost count in the end of how many times you raised your fist and presented it in front of him. Is that something that he gets used to?
I don't know, I don't think he can see me. He's got his eyes closed most of the time.
No, you're not supposed to let out secrets like that. I always try to say this to passenger doing the steering, but that was hard work out there this afternoon.
Yes.
Lovely, yes, we've been caught once. I'm not going to bother anymore. I'm going to move over to Steve, because I know that, Steve, you put a lot of work into this outfit this year. Do you think all that hard work has at long last paid off?
It would have done had we been able to beat Ken, but I'm pleased with Ken, because winning this meeting after winning the championship was like me a couple of years ago when, you know, I won the championship and then came here and won the BURNUP as well, and it's a tremendous meeting to win, and I'm sure Ken will now finish the season absolutely elated. Having said that, he did lean on me. Right, Christ, did he lean on me?
Well, I'm not going to pursue that one at all. I might just ask that question of Ken, but Steve, that's what racing's all about. It's hard, it's furious. The track must have been hard for you guys this afternoon.
Yeah, I actually found it superb to ride. I mean, Tunbridge Club always prepared track wonderfully well. There were some ruts appearing on the corners, but they worked extremely hard to keep the track as smooth as it always is, and congratulations to the Tunbridge Club once again. It was a wonderful meeting.
Well, I certainly share those thoughts, Steve, and indeed we've only got one more crew to come up here, so I can say once again in second place of the BURNUP, Steve Smith and Keith Wall. Well, there is only one more crew to come up. Of course, they are the winners of the International BURNUP. We've already talked about them a little bit, talking to the other drivers. You can see the sort of respect that they've gained from their fellow compatriots. Of course, we call them up here the winners of the very first International BONFIRE BURNUP in the sidecar competition. Our winners this afternoon, they are, of course, Ken Lane and Mark Edwards. Well, we'll get them organised in a minute. We want all the silverware, all the champagne. And if sometimes you wonder when you see these photographs in all the papers, etc., how they always seem to come out so well, it's because Alan does take this care and attention to get everything right. I'm sure you can bear with us just for a couple of minutes. We want the photographs right. Oh, one more of the two together. I think they spent long enough together this afternoon, haven't they? Mark, I want to come to you first of all. We'll have a quick word with him in a few moments. I know you enjoy doing this sort of thing, Mark, but I've got to ask that it got a bit tight out there in the final. Was it as tight as it looked to us?
Yeah, it was quite tight actually, yeah. He was just getting tired. I kept screaming and shouting. I saw him come out the inside. And I pointed to Ken, and that's sort of like where we ended up.
No, I'm not going to pursue that matter at all, but you must have enjoyed today's racing. You've won the Masters, and this is just, as Stephen quite rightly said, the icing on the cake.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, it's a real good feeling. It's nice. Just finished the year off like this.
Well, Well, a brilliant partnership, and of course, I know, Mark, you do encourage this driver an awful lot. I've got to have a quick word with him because, Ken, all eyes are on you at the moment. You are, of course, our Masters champion. Did you really expect, after the disaster last week, to actually come here and win this first international?
Oh, I came here with full intentions of trying to win it. Because last week I think I was the first one in the pub after what happened. And yeah, I was totally disappointed last week, but I was determined today that I was getting awfully tired in that final. And like Steve said, I had to do a bit of serious leaning on him, but that's the only way I could survive, I think.
Well, I think I would say that's racing, and I'm going to stick to that. But 6 laps, do you think it is just a little bit too hard going?
I did 9.
Well, no, I can assure you, Ken, you only did 6, honestly.
Restart, Jim.
Oh, sorry, yeah, he's got his fun, hasn't he? Because, of course, we had those ones before. Oh, well, you can embarrass me as well, I don't mind. But, Ken, I've got to ask you that we've all been talking these last few moments about this being the icing on the cake. Is that how you see it?
Oh, yes. It's the money for the party, yeah, that's true. But yeah, I've enjoyed my season, and it's all down to Mark really, because his enthusiasm just doubled over. And this is the icing on the cake. I'm going to keep going next year because I've got to defend it. Because I've missed him out here. I've missed him, and you know, I need him back so we can carry on. I'll retire when he does.
Well, there you are. You've heard it down here at Tunbridge. He's going to retire when Roger does. So I think we've got at least another 3 or 4 years racing in both of you.
Oh, I don't know.
Now, I'm being increased on that. We get 5 or 10 down here. What do you think? Oh, at least 10 they're saying, Ken.
There's all these nippers wanting to go, like Nevill and all that. They're getting fed up with it all. So they're a bit young anyway, yeah, aren't they?
Well, they are, but they're learning from the experience that you guys are giving them.
Oh, is that right?
Right, I think we'll leave it at that because I can move away and give you once more all the winners in the sidecar competition. I won't just say the 1, 2 and 3. Of course, the winners are Ken Lane and Mark Edwards, but your congratulations to all 3 crews.